going after an undefeated team, believing in the underdog role and giving themselves a chance down the stretch, and they needed a remarkable shot to get beat. But it reminded me of the Villanova ending in a championship game a few years back, and obviously the Leitner shot. Just some of those special moments, even if they're heartbreaking. That's what's great about college basketball.
All right, transitioning over to today, if we could. Frank, do you have an update on Drummond and Wesley Matthews and their status?
Yeah, both are out tonight or today. Dre's still not ready, and they're just being cautious with Wes. He had neck injuries 2 games in a row, and the doc's holding him out.
Frank, who said that the game in Sacramento was the best that you guys have collectively played without LeBron and AD? I wondered what stood out in the tape when you broke it down.
Defensive tenacity, number one. I think we had a willingness to play the right way, as good as we've seen during this stretch offensively, in terms of making the extra pass, and our shooters just being confident. We continue to work with them on the shot recognition. Be recognizing the shots we want in the rhythm of our offense. You shoot them with more confidence, and I think we saw that in the Kings game.
And then last thing for me, Frank, just the potential of Markieff starting against his identical twin, that it hasn't lined up like that with the teams they've been on, one starting, one off the bench in recent years. What you've kind of taken from that relationship from talking to Markieff and how special that is between them?
Yeah, it's just, they have a unique symmetry with one another. Obviously not just being brothers and identical twins, but they really, share a lot of things in their life. And, it's just a special relationship. So, this will be a fun game for the Morris family.
Calvin?
Hey, Frank, you talked the other day about Kyle Kuzma's positivity, but just the ability to kind of gear shift to what the team needs in terms of, I know you were saying that, we ask him to do the same things when he's in, whether he's starting or not. But I mean, obviously right now he has to score more for you guys. He has to do kind of more things. What do you think about that sort of ability to shift gears to what the team needs?
Yeah, I think that's the great lesson that he learned in becoming a champion last year. You take the talents that you have, and you give them to the team in any way that is needed. And sometimes that's to be a defender and a rebounder and a catch and shoot shooter, and sometimes that it's to be the primary ball handler in a lot of pick and rolls, or a primary scoring option, like we're asking him to do right now. And that's what I think he learned last year. And it's just the mindset to do whatever the team needs to get W's.
Dan?
Hey, Frank, a couple quick ones. I know we're technically in the middle of a road trip right now, but has there been anything new on AD or LeBron or plans for those guys to get on the road with you?
Yeah, they'll both be on the road with us. And, AD continues to ramp up, but it's still a ways away. And, LeBron's still out indefinitely.
And then I guess secondly, we talked to Mark after the game in Sacramento, and he was not shy about his level of disappointment. But he's played really well. I guess now and the stretches you've asked him. How rare is that for a player to be able to compartmentalize like that? How special is that? What does it say, I guess, about his level of professionalism and that he's able to kind of handle this?
Well, it speaks to his character, and I would argue that he's played exceptional well, not only the last couple of games, but all season for us. He's a big reason why we're the number 1 defense in the league. His mind and his quarterbacking of our defense and bringing the size, and the great hands that he has defensively has been a big part of our success on that side of the ball. And he really fits offensively with being a guy. Like I really felt like he dominated the game the other night without scoring, and that's the big reason we signed him. I think he had 8 points total in the 2 games we played against him last year, and it felt like he dominated us. We went 0-2 against the Raptors. He just one of those guys that can impact the game without scoring. And I think we've seen that from him all season. And like I said, I think it speaks to his character to have some heavy emotions and still get out there and compete.
Dave?
So, Frank, I think you're 2 weeks away, roughly, or maybe even less than 2 weeks before that game against the Celtics with fans when you're back off that road trip. I know you're saying a ways away for AD, and maybe you don't have the answer for this, but any chance that could be a momentous Day, you know, getting him back, having fans back, a month left in the regular season?
Only certainty I can give you is that we'll have fans there. You know, I can't give you anything past that. You know, it's still uncertain when he'll return.
Rachel?
Hey, Frank, can you just give us any more details on Drummond and sort of what the last 48 hours have been like and why the decision kind of went that this just wasn't possible today?
He's still having trouble putting his shoe on, you know, the first 2 days through it. So, you know, he's just not there yet. You know, he's still in a great deal of discomfort. And, you know, we want to make sure that this thing gets behind him.
Bill?
Hey, Frank, just to follow up on the AD stuff, and I know you've, been asked versions of this a lot, but the original timeline that you guys gave, and I know it was an estimate, was about 4 weeks, and we're maybe 3 weeks past that, roughly. Was there a setback at all, or just a change in kind of the understanding of the injury, or has it been an abundance of caution? Just kind of what's changed since that original estimated timeline?
Yeah, no setback. You know, it's just being cautious with making sure that the buildup is happening at the right pace, and you know, that this thing is fully behind him.
Last question, Mark Medina.
Hey, Frank, good to see you. In lieu of Rondo making his Clipper debut today, I was wondering if you can kind of provide some perspective from last year with just how he went about holding the guys accountable, whether it was LeBron, AD, or anyone else in the team.
Holding guys accountable. Well, you know, he's one of the smartest players that I've ever coached. You know, he's got a great lens on what's happening with our group, has a great BS meter, and you know, he'll call it out with guys, you know, to make sure guys are going about their business the right way. You know, whether it's on the court, off the court, whatever. You know, so you know, he's a champion for a reason, and you know, he should help the Clippers.
All right, can you take one more? We'll go Melissa Rowland.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank, I was going to ask something about Rajon as well. I was just curious, what was your favorite memory with him last season, and how much did he really impact your guys' championship run?
Well, he had a huge impact on us winning. You know, favorite moment, there's a long list of those, quite frankly. He brought a lot of levity and comedy to our practices throughout the course of the year. You know, I think there was some stretches in the playoff series, a few different playoff series where, you know, he's calling out defenses and, you know, getting us in zone and back into man and back into zone. And our team was confused and their team was confused, and nine other guys were confused about what defense we were in, but it was working for the Lakers. You know, you know, I think that's one of the funnier ones. And you know, the pass he makes to AD, you know, in the Denver game, to find him on the wing for that big three to win that game. And you know, we just shared some moments after we won the championship that night after Game 6, celebrating, where, you know, it's just you know, one of the more rewarding relationships for me as a coach, in terms of player-coach relationships that you endure throughout your career.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
All right.